Let's go ahead and open up ChituBox. And this is what it looks like. So what we need to do is we need to build a new profile. So we're going to click on the settings button over here by this big slice button. And once we click on that, you guys can see I only have one printer on here right now. So we're going to click on this add new printer page. And since this printer is not going to be in printers to choose, so we're going to do others and click on default, then push OK. And so you guys can see our printer name is called default, and we can rename it here. So let's go ahead and type in BIQU. And you guys can see changes to our name. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add Pixel L. So these are just the standard parameters, but what we want to do is we want to import the profile that came on the SD card. And so over here we can see we got some buttons to push, and this one right here says import profile. So we're going to click on that. And then we're going to click on our thumb drive and select the profile folder and open it up. And automatically it's going to set all of the parameters to this machine. And you guys probably saw it changed some of the things when we imported. And the profile is actually called 9.1. So this is our 4K resolution here, the build volume, the size, and you guys can see we go all the way to 220 up. Resin, the printer parameters. So I'm not going to touch any of this stuff, but you know, obviously you can tweak this if you wanted to, but this is what they recommend using. And then we have advanced here at the end, and you can use anti-aliasing if you want. I usually turn it on about medium here to give it a better finish, but it's up to you. I guess I'm gonna leave it on. And also you got more options here for grayscale and image blur. So yeah, but we're gonna keep it simple. And yeah, we are pretty much done. Our printer should be ready to go, and you guys can see our build volume here, or the build plate size. So let's go ahead and drag something in here, and we'll go ahead and do an Eiffel Tower. So you can click on the model and just move it around, or you got little hot controls here on the side where you can move it by axes, and it also has put on plate, center, and reset. So if we click on center, it's going to center the model. Also the rotate button here, you can either manually rotate it, maybe I should zoom in a bit here, or enter the parameters, and also more choices here. And also we have the scale button, which you obviously can scale by dragging or putting in the parameters, but you can also click the scale to fit, and that's just going to maximize the print to the volume. And there we go. So you guys can see that we went almost full to the top at 215, and I'm going to go ahead and max this thing out to 220 just to see if it can do it. Now it did recommend 215, so maybe that's the actual maximum, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, here on the top you have a few more options of like hollow, so you can make a model hollow. Obviously this model here not really a good candidate for hollowing out, but you can put the parameters here and it will hollow it out, and they kind of show you a little preview there. And also dig a hole. Once you make something hollow, you want the resin to drain, so you would use this option here to actually, you know, add a hole so the resin can drain. So here we have different viewpoints that we can choose from. Could be helpful if you need to line something up. But more importantly is this section here. So on this tab over here, we're gonna have our file name, and this is where you can delete it and add new files. Actually guys, let's make a little example here. So I'm just gonna throw this little frog in here randomly. And if I try to move it, you guys can see they're moving together. The reason why is because it's selected together. So if we unselect them and then just select the model we want to work on, we can work on just that model. So we just got the frog here. And so no matter what you do to this file, nothing will happen to the other one, including also support. So let's click on the support button on the side, and it kind of makes the other model disappear. And so this is where you can, you know, add supports and all the parameters to that. But if you click on all down here, it should just automatically add them. And if you do like what it looks like, just click back to the editing, and you guys can see our Eiffel Tower is back. So yeah, that's pretty much how you use this section here. But let's say we don't want this frog here anymore, so we're just going to delete it, and we're back to our Eiffel Tower. So once you're done working on your model, you're going to click this huge slice button, and once you click it, it will slice the model and then give us all the information. So over here you have a window, like a preview of every layer. You can play it. It basically shows you each layer count and what the layer looks like at that count. So on the side here, we have pretty useful information of how much resin we'll need, which is 55 milliliters, the weight, I guess the price, and more importantly, the time it'll take, 12 hours and 54 minutes to print this Eiffel Tower. Here's all of our exposure printing settings. And yeah, once you're happy with everything, you're gonna click on this save button, and here we can choose where we wanna save it. So I'm gonna save it straight to the thumb drive. And you guys can see here the file type, which is a CTB. And we're gonna click on save, and simple as that. It saves the file to the thumb drive, and if we open it up, we can see it right here. It says Eiffel Tower. And now we can go to the printer, print the file. So yeah guys, not too hard to understand and use the ChituBox. You will have to familiar yourself with the supports here a bit if you want to print more complicated models with overhangs and things like that. But yeah, as far as the dropping models in and slicing them is quite simple.